Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom, Brother Nakwam.
Shalom, Shalom, Brother Right.
Coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday Night Fire. Giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Wamalak Yabushai, and double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Wamalak Yabushai. A hearty, mighty Shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there in the highways and byways pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their body as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. And shalom to all of the Akwath out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive and diligent. And those who aren't married are those who tend upon the Lord without distraction. Shalom to the children, the ancient men, and everybody tuning in live. Kwam Yasha.
Shalom, Israel. Everybody reading, praying, and fasting in the last days, making their body a living sacrifice, doing all that they could do to magnify the Most High, His beloved Son Yahushua, continuing on steadfast in the faith, right? Doing everything they can do to cast down false doctrines in the last days, right? I want to get this quick precept through the spirit, right? Because doctrines are going to continue to increase more and more, unless shall they heap to themselves teachers having itchy ears. So in the last days, men are going to want to hear what they want to hear. Their doctrines and the belief that they have is going to be predicated off of what they want to hear. It's not going to be predicated off of sound doctrine. Sound doctrine is what Hamashiach Malak Yahushua is going to give you. It's not going to be what this mass system gives you, not what false pastors and apostles give you. Men are going to try to overthrow you. They try to overthrow men in the scriptures. They try to overthrow our fathers, right? It's been a lot of false prophets and increasing in the last days. And through discernment and wisdom, right, and most importantly, through understanding the scriptures, you'll be able to identify, right, these wolves in sheep clothing to cut it down. You got it.
Yeah, I'm going to read this in John 7 and verse 16. I'm going to start at 14. John 7 and 14. Now about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? Because Yahushua didn't go to the school with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and he wasn't raised as a rabbi and a master teacher of the law, like Nicodemus and a lot of other men. Simon, it's like Joseph of Arimathea, right? He was a Pharisee. You had many men. The Apostle Paul was a Pharisee. Gamaliel was a Pharisee. Yahushua didn't learn under those men, right? Reading on. So they questioned him. How could this guy know the breakdowns? Yahushua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of the Most High or whether I speak of myself. So if you know the will of the Most High, you'll have the understanding of the doctrine. Huh? What is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? Repenting, believing in the name of his son Yahushua, keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments. You understand? That's moving in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, loving your neighbor and your brother as you love yourself. These things are an integral part of doing the will of Yahweh Yahushua. And the doctrine that brothers push is not, we didn't make this up, man. We didn't make up the fact that we're Israelites, that we're the Most High's chosen people, that we have to put away sin, flee from idolatry, right? We didn't make this stuff up. This is from the Lord, man. And it's what the world says to us. How do we know these things have never learned? How do these guys know what Revelation is talking about and they didn't go to the theologian school? How can the guys these men break down Genesis, 2nd Ezra, Daniel, Ezekiel, simple things, man, simple things in the Bible, the epistles, who the Gentiles are, Romans 11, Acts 10. How can they do these things when they didn't pay $20,000 a semester? This is what they think about you. You didn't study and get a degree in biblical studies, man. You know, but these things have been given to you from on high. So we have to defend what was given to us from on high, and that is the doctrine of the Most High. Right? You got it.
Right. And it's a prophecy in Isaiah that in the latter days that men will come into the understanding of the truth, to cast away false doctrines and hear things clearly. Because, I mean, a lot of our fathers and a lot of men in Israel, they've been passed down doctrines from generations. They've been passed down lies, passed down false teaching, passed down all these type of idols and things of this world, so that after generation and generation, we believe these things to be true, right? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, right? And verse number 24. And it reads, matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse, this whole thing is fire. I'm going to start at 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and their understanding of the prudent men shall be hid. So the Lord hid wisdom. He hid understanding. He hid prophecy. And he closed it up and he sealed it into the last days. When men are going inside of the scriptures, going into Isaiah, going into Daniel, going into Revelation, breaking these things down by the Spirit of the Lord. Jumping down to verse number 24. They also that erred in spirit shall come to understand it. And who erred in spirit? We erred in spirit, man. We believed the things of this world at a set point in time, but we were in darkness. We didn't have the Spirit of the Most High. Or we were alienated from Mashiach Malak Yahushua. We had no understanding we were Israelites. We had no understanding that the Most High has chosen us. We thought we were Gentiles. We had no understanding of what the scriptures even speaking about. There was an Old and New Testament, and during the Greek Empire, this happened, and there was a book, right, the Apocrypha. We had no understanding in any of these things, man. The Lord said, they also that erred in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine. And the Lord is saying, look, you're going to truly learn the doctrine that I'm going to give you in the last days. Right? Let me get this quick precept through the Spirit too. Right? Matthew chapter 15. And the Lord even prophesied against these men. It's the book of Matthew chapter 15 and verse number 8. And the Lord is quoting Isaiah. It says, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouths and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Right? Matthew chapter 15 and verse 8. It said, these people draw nigh unto me with their mouth. And then they act as if they're really trying to be in this truth. They really follow the Lord. They're really making themselves to appear as if they're really the Lord's sheep. They draw near with their mouth with mouth service. It says this, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Their heart meaning their mind, meaning they're not really going to follow the true doctrine of what the Lord said. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. So we're not following the commandments of men. We're not going to hold the Pharisees and what they gave higher than the doctrine of the Lord, or stray off through the doctrine of man given to you, which is false, and neglect the words of the Lord.
Come on. And I want to deal with we're going to deal with a few of the questions, some false doctrine, and I mean, there's something going on concerning World War III as well, man. Right? You got a lot going on. If you're watching, if you stand on top of what's happening in the so-called Middle East, right, with Babylon the Great and different alliances that they're making. So, you know, things are heating up, man. Things are heating up. And as war increases, the Lord also said in 2 Timothy, let me get this as well, right? There's a lot of prophecies that happen at the same time, right? Let me get this in 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Right, so as we go into doctrines and deal with the Q&A, and you see World War III happening, right? You see Jacob's trouble brewing up. You see all of these prophecies kind of increasing and increasing at the same time until they burst. Another thing that's going to increase is evil men growing on the earth and seducers. The Lord said they're going to wax worse and worse. As we approach the end of the world and the end, and we get closer and closer, you're going to have more evil men, and they're going to wax worse and worse. They're going to deceive people, and people will be deceived, man. Right? So what did the Most High say? Verse 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned. Let me read that again. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. So don't be the brother where you just want to go everywhere. I want to see what they got to say. Then what they got to say. I want to see what they got to say. I want to see that. No, the Lord said, be assured of what you has learned, man. Hold fast. Don't learn from, if you know you're watching, I don't know, Watchmen for Israel, right? You understand what brothers teach, and then you say, all right, boom, GOCC. Let's see what's going on. Right? You was watching the brothers breakdowns for 5 years, and you say, okay, all right, that was cool. All right, GOCC, you get the next 5 years. Right? Okay, ICJC, whatever, you get the next 5 years of my life. All right, Sakari, you get the next 5 years, Jim. No, you'll be all over the place, man. We don't have time for that, man. We in the end of this thing. That's what the Mosai says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned. It's too late to be switching it up, man. Here you all been knowing that Romans 11 is talking about Israel, foreigners, and now you want to switch it up. The missile's about to drop. What are you switching it up for, man? Now you're just tempting the Most High. I think it's going into the Gentiles, and these are the other nations. It has to be. No, the Lord didn't say do that stuff, man. Now, does that mean you can't increase in wisdom and the Spirit can't show you other things? No, that's not what that means, man. You can still grow in wisdom, and the Most High can reveal things to you, but don't be the brother with you're given to change. Like the Lord said in Proverbs, I believe the 24th chapter, right? My son, fear the Lord and the King, and meddle not with him that is given to change. So you don't want to be all over the place and be double-minded, man. Here you have believing that the fringes and a border of blue is a ribbon of actual blue. Now you want to switch it up to purple. Right before Jacob's trouble start. The ICBM missiles are entering the atmosphere and they come into Babylon the Great, and you say, nah, I don't know about Yahweh. I might be an OT Israelite. Right before the missile hit the earth. I'm just convinced. Well, then you're going to be destroyed, bro. Right? The Mosai set up different men. And you're going to come up in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah to a doctrine that the Mosai is going to give you, huh? So the Lord said, don't be swayed and don't be tossed to and fro. You got to learn how to defend the doctrine. You know? Don't just get beat up by false doctrines, man. Doctrine they just have their way with you, man. Like a creep on the train. You just ride the train and like the Moabites, man. They just be creeping on people on the train. And them Elamites do that too, man. They be all packed up in the train. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. That's how these doctrines are, man. And you just sitting at the, stop. Oh, please. Oh. No, man. Hey, get off of me, man. That's how you got to treat these doctrines, man. Right? Get off of me, man. And if you let these doctrines give them an inch, you're going to be naked. You're going to be naked. They're going to take your clothes off. Right? Metaphorically speaking, if you got ears to hear, they're going to take your clothes off. They start groping and touching you. Hey, this stuff on them trains, that stuff is real, man. There's plenty of police reports from them Elamites. Them Elamites are off, man. They be on the train. They be on top of the train. Them Ammonites, next thing you know, they got to file a report. That's how it is in the spirit. You let these doctrines have their way with you, you're going to be naked, man. Spiritually, with no garment on. You got to hold it down, man. You got to keep your garment. Let me get that real quick in Revelation. One more quick precept. You got to keep your garment, right? Revelation 16-15. It reads, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame, right? Keep your garment tight, man. Don't be a sagging Israelite like these Negroes that be sagging. You just sagging the garment, man. Anybody could just do whatever to you, man. Put a spiritual girdle on, a belt. Gird your garment up, man. You know, you got it.
Khan, that's right. Bro, let me pull this quick precept through the spirit. Right, this is the mighty book, right? Of 1 Timothy chapter 4 in verse number 13. Right, 1 Timothy chapter 4 and 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Right, so Paul is saying through the spirit that, you know, when I'm gone, give attendance to reading. There's a lot of false doctrines out of here. Right, I want to pull this quick precept and then jump back to that one. It's 1 Timothy chapter 1, right, in verse number 3. As I besought thee to abide still at Ephesus, when I went to Macedonia, that thou mightest charge some that they teach no other doctrine. So when Paul said, look, I'm going to buy still at Ephesus, when I went to Macedonia, I'm making sure that you're over this church, that you charge these men not to teach no other doctrine. Because sometimes when you leave and you're a father or a husband or a brother, or you leave a congregation, you're liable to fall into the hands of Satan. You're liable to fall into the hands of doctrines, philosophies. You may not be able to ask a brother a question anymore. You start leaning on your own understanding, right? You start linking this up with this, and you grab some other book, right? You try to jam your understanding and try to make it fit, right? If you're going to be in this thing, you can't teach no other doctrine or learn no other doctrine. That's the same thing our forefathers were teaching, right? Jumping back to 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Meaning you got to give attendance to these things. Always be upon it, right? Don't change. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thou profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself. Meaning you got to check yourself sometimes. Am I really in the faith? Am I on fire? Am I diligent? Am I doing the work of the Most High? It says, and unto the doctrine. So you got to take heed unto the doctrine, huh? What does that mean? Why does Paul keep saying over and over, take heed to the doctrine? And if you believe in one thing one moment and the next thing another moment, right, who knows where you will be 10 years from now? You start to drift into Old Testament only, right? You'll start drifting to all of these other books, right? You'll start to link up things that don't exist, right? You'll start thinking that we're already in the second wilderness, man. Right? You'll start them thinking all type of madness and lewdness, and to the point where you're a bug out. You have bug outs in this truth. Just because you know the name Yahweh, you know the name the Most High Yahweh, or you know that you're an Israelite, don't mean you're in the truth. And you had a lot of men in the Gospels that fell away that knew the Lord's name, man. You had a lot of men that followed Paul that fell away, man. Just because, you had a lot of men that were teachers of the law, like the Pharisees, the wicked ones, they were off as hell. They knew of the Lord. Don't trick yourself just because you know the holy name, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that you're in this truth. You're in this truth when you abide by the laws, the commandments, the statutes, and you take the doctrine that Yahweh Shai gave you. It says, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them. Meaning don't be to and fro. Like the brother said, don't be in this camp, that camp, that camp, that camp. Now, if somebody's teaching the commandments, which is sound doctrine, there's nothing wrong with that. But if one brother has this breakdown, another brother has that breakdown, right, you don't want to be given to change. It says, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So you save yourself by continuing in the doctrine, because the doctrine is pure and it's holy. You got it.
God. And I know there's a good amount of questions on here. The questions we're going to tackle first that get priority are the questions that pertain to doctrine. All right, so we're going to deal with we're going to prioritize the questions that pertain to doctrine, right? Any other questions we'll hold off. We may get to those, later. We may do a separate Q&A for them, so we'll just go through those through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, HBKN. What is the new name in Revelation 3 and 12? And is it the same as the new manna in Revelation 2 and 17? All right, so let's deal with it. Now, that's kind of a doctrine question, right? There's doctrine. We don't know the name of the Most High. Do we teach the name of the Most High? What is the name of the Most High? Does the name of the Most High matter? Do you have to speak the name of the Most High to be saved? Do you have to know the Hebrew to be saved? There's a lot that goes with that. There's a lot of precepts that are used unjustly. There's a lot of precepts that are used in a manner where they're with sleight of hand and craftiness, right? Revelation 3 and 12 is one of them, right? Revelation 19, there's a lot of precepts that deal with that. But the new name, let's go to Revelation 3 and 12. First, let's go to the book of Hebrews, right? Let's go to Hebrews chapter 13. I got a quick precept on that. All right, let's go to the book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 8. All right. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 8. It reads, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever. Let's read that again. Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever. So we have to understand what this word, we're going to go to the precept, what this word new means, right? The word new doesn't always mean something completely different, right? You can have a beat up car, right? You can have the windows could be broke. It can have all types of people keyed the car, tire got flat, and they'll take this car to a shop. You know, these guys, they'll work on it, and you got a new car, huh? They'll say, look, you look like you got a brand new car. It runs like a new car. Does that mean you have an actual new car? No, it's the old car, but it's been refreshed. It's been worked on, huh? It's been enhanced. You have New Jerusalem in the Bible. The Lord said he saw us as New Jerusalem. Does that mean we're a different nation of people? It's a different city. What is the difference between New Jerusalem and Old Jerusalem? It's the same people, not a new people. It just means the Most High is bringing us to a refreshed state, back to our glory, back to our first dominion, right? Spiritual bodies, laws in the inward parts. You understand? So when you see that word new, you got to understand that it's not always talking about something completely different. Like the name of the Most High is Yahweh. Then he's going to get, then his real name is really, I don't even want to play around with the name of the Most High, huh? Right? But the Most High, his name is Yahweh, and it is what it is. Right? Let's go to Malachi 3 and 6. I just want to get these preliminary precepts, because these are the precepts that brothers forget, right? When they start going into this, well, you're going to have it. The Most High is going to give you a new name. Right now, you know him as Yahweh. Well, the Lord said that's his name forever in the book of Exodus. Right? He said, by my name Yahweh, I was not known unto them. The Most High is not going to change his name from Yahweh and from the days of old. Then in the kingdom, the most, okay, well, look, I was really the Most High's name is going to be magnified on the earth. How is all the earth going to know the name of the Most High? Through his destruction on Babylon the Great. Right? The Most High said, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Right? In the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. What name is that? Yahweh. It's not Yahweh. It's not Yahuwah. It's not Jah. You got brothers saying you got to call him Jah. I'm not calling the Most High Jah. No, it's Jah. Oh, Jah. Right? Them Benjamites say, oh, Jah. Eddie Murphy got a song called Jah. You seen that song?
Yeah, and Bob Marley got one.
Yeah, we're not dealing with that, man. Eddie Murphy and his Jah. All right, let me get this first. Malachi 3 and 6, the classic. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So we got to soak on those. Don't forget particular precepts. That's another reason why brothers get tossed to and fro, man. They lose that foundation. When a doctrine is presented to you, you got to remember fundamental knowledge and keep that foundation. Otherwise, you're going to be caught out there. Oh, I forgot about Malachi. No, the Most High don't change. All right, let me get go ahead, King. You got it. I want to read Revelation 3 and 12.
Con. I want to get these two precepts through the Spirit. Right, when you go to the mighty book of Psalms, right, chapter 9. Let me see. Yeah, I could come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. Right, this is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, and verse number 7. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which ye had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning. Again, a new commandment I write unto you. Right, so what is this saying? Is this saying I write no new commandment, but then it's saying a new commandment I give? That word new means refreshed, right? So you don't have a new name, right? You don't have anything new that the Lord is giving you, right? So when you go, whether it be the etymology, the Greek, whatever the case may be, or the way it's written sometimes, it may confuse you, right? The Lord is giving the same commandment, but he's refreshing his commandment. It says right here, again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because darkness is past and the true light now shineth. Right? And that's talking about loving your brother. That's not a new commandment. That's an old commandment of old, that you got to love your brother. But yet it's saying, I write no new commandment, but yet it's saying, I'll give you a new commandment. So it's not saying it's going to be a new name, right? The Lord is going to solidify that name, right? And I'm going to get you got it, King.
Yeah, quick precept, Colossians chapter 3 and verse 10. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. What's the new man? When Jake say, man, I'm a new man, right? He might have been in prison, he might have been locked up, right? He might have did a bid, right? He might have did, 15 years, 20 years. He might have been broke, might not have had a job, man. He might have got his life together, got himself a little spot, got him a woman, got him a little family. You might meet this guy and say, hey, look, man, you a new man. Is this guy going to say, yeah, I'm a shapeshifter from planet 40, right? Planet Xenon, right? No, man. He's not a body morpher. When he says, hey, look, yeah, hey, you feel like you a new man. Yeah, I've been hustling, I've been getting my act right, man. I've been doing this, I got this new job. Yeah, hey, look, I'm a new man. Right? So that's how Jake talked, man. The Lord said, put on the new man. Is that an actual new man you got to find? Let me find a guy I never knew before. Stranger, you go to stranger.com, right? Strangersearch.com. And then you pinpoint, Seattle. And you're looking up faces. I'm going to see that guy. And you take a trip to Seattle, man. A one-way to Seattle and go find this new man. Right? You find out where he lives. He might be at work. You say, okay, well, look, you get off at work at 6, so you get you a little hotel. You might get something cheap at the day's end. You stay there or something, right? You crash, you get up, you follow this guy. Damn, you missed him the first day. You go back, you set your alarm. You see him the second day. You get up at 5:30. You catch this guy. You run out in the parking lot before you get in his car, and you take this guy. You pick him. You put on this new man. No, man. You don't put on the actual new man. What is the new man? The new man is a renewed you. Put him on like a garment, man. The man is going to repent. The man that believes in the Most High. The man that believes in Yahweh Shai. The man that's going to love his nation. The man that keeps the commandments. That's why it says renewed. New is renewed. And it's proper context in the New Testament. Put on the new man, which is renewed. That's why the brother brought the beautiful precept. A new commandment I give you. Huh? It's really a renewed, enhanced commandment. Right? Refreshed commandment that has to be implemented. You got it, King.
Khan is right. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse number 12. It says, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Right? Is that literal? That Yahweh Shai had no name that nobody else knows but he himself. That's not what that's talking about. And then when you jump down to verse number 16, it says, and he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So, I mean, do we know the name? Do we not know the name? No, it's solidifying over and over that Yahweh Shai does have a name. Right? You can read about that in Matthew 1 and 21. He was given a name. Right? That's plain. He was given a name, right? By the Most High, via the hand of the angel, Mary, Joseph, he has a name. Now, when it says in verse 12, his eyes were as a flame of fire, right? And on his head were many crowns, right? He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed in a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of God. So Yahweh Shai has one specific name, but he has many titles. Right? We know Yahweh Shai to be a man of war, right? The Word of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. In an image of him having, when it says no man knows, so like he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, he's coming to do things that we don't even know in totality. His destruction, his vengeance, his massacring the so-called white man, you think you know about it by reading, but you're really not going to know that true name he's coming in. Like you know your mother by, let's say your mother's name, whatever the case may be, but you don't really know her name 40 years ago. You don't know what she's really doing when you're not around. You don't know that other side of her when she talked to her friends. You only know a part of her by her name. Right? The Lord said in Exodus, right, chapter 6, right? It's the book of Exodus, chapter 6, and verse number 3. And I appeared unto Abraham and unto Isaac and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty. But by my name Yahweh was I not known unto them. Meaning he's saying he appeared by them by the name God Almighty. Meaning all of these titles are a part of your name. Like a brother may be what? A driver. Then his brother's also a father. Then his brother's also a brother. He's also, an apostle. These are all his different names, even though it's not changing his name from being Zion or changing his name from being a Gabar, a Tazwan, whatever the case may be. Whatever brother's name specifically is, he has different titles of what makes him up as that man, if you understand. Right? That brother may be a driver. That brother may be a cook, right? A mechanic, right? That's all a part of his name. So that's how the Lord is ciphering his true name from the name God Almighty by what he showed them. You got it.
Yeah, and your name, to the brother's point, does not always mean your actual name. Your name is your image, your character, what you represent, right? So your name, like they say, you're trying to give me a bad name. Does that mean my name is not Kwame? And I say, brother, you're trying to give me a bad name because he wants to call me Nelson. Oh, why are you trying to give me a bad name? I don't want to be Nelson. No. Doesn't mean he's trying to change your actual name. Giving you a bad name is giving you a bad reputation. Same thing as somebody that will tarnish your image, assassinate your character. You understand? These are things that happen every day, man. Every day, that's an actual crime. Assassination of character, right? Defamation of character. These are things you can do time for, man. And that's what you do when you teach that the Lord is coming to save everybody. When you say that the Lord's name doesn't matter. When you say that all people could be saved, you're tarnishing the name of the Most High. You're blaspheming the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Even if you know the name of the Most High, but if you're not putting it out there, if you're saying that the Lord is going to do things that he's not going to do, you're putting false charges on the Most High. You're saying the Lord is coming back with a new name, you lying on the Most High, on his character, because his character is that he doesn't change, that he's the same. Right? Let me get this in Psalms 120 real quick. Right? Quick precept. This Psalms, it's like your Psalms chapter, let's see, let's see what I want. Bear with me. You got it, King. I want to get this precept.
Khan, it's the book of Sirach. Okay, Khan.
I'm gonna get it in the book of Hebrews, right? We get it in the book of Hebrews. So we gotta understand that the Most High, this Hebrews chapter 1 and verse, I'll start at 10. Right? Hebrews chapter 1 and 10. It was in Psalms 102. But Hebrews 1 and 10. Thou, Lord, in the beginning hast laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thine hands. They shall perish, but thou remainest, and they all shall wax old as doth the garment. As a vesture shalt thou fold them up. Right? That's like that mushroom cloud, having departed as a scroll because you fold it together. And they shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail. So everything else is going to change. Time, the heavens, the rulership, vestures, garments, literal, spiritual, everything is going to change when it's all said and done. When it's all said and done, the Most High is the same, and his years have no end. Right? The Most High is not going to say, okay, I'm really X amount of years old, and this is my new name. No, that's off, man. Imagine knowing somebody, man, and the guy kind of switch up on you, man. Yeah, my name's really not Naquan, right? And you gotta watch. You gotta always change his name, man.
Right.
You gotta look out for that guy. Why are you always changing your name, man? Especially a Hebrew name, because your name means something about you. That's why brothers pick a particular name, because it resonates with your spirit. Dealing with a brother, his name is a Kabash, right? Then a brother name is Aitazawan. Then the brother is Ash, is fire. Then the brother Shemayim, he's water. Well, what's up with this guy, man? What's his name? Fire, water, humble, meek, sheep. He just switching all these. What kind of spirit is this guy in, man? Now I'm a lion. Then he changed his name to serpent. Right? We're not dealing with a brother whose name was lion. Then he changed his name to serpent, huh? Right? You can't deal with a guy that's just changing his name. Right? And then again, he has many titles, but he has his proper name, and his proper name was given to him by his father. You could change, go try to change somebody's son name. I got a son, man. Give him a nickname if you want to. I'm gonna be offended. Change his name. Oh, I'm gonna call him this. No, don't call my son something. They ain't call him up. Hey, when a father gives his son a name, that's a lot to a father. You know, you fathers, you got sons, man. Well, I'm gonna call him this. Okay, you can change the father's son name if you want to. The Most High named him Yahweh, but you're gonna change it, right? Because you want to change it. That's madness. You got it.
Con. Well, I got one more on it. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 15, and verse number 5. Sirach 15 and 5. She shall exalt him above his neighbors, talking about wisdom, and in the midst of the congregation shall she open his mouth. He shall find joy in a crown of gladness, and she shall cause him to inherit an everlasting name. Meaning his name isn't going to be blotted out. If you're in wisdom, you're going to have an everlasting name like Judas Maccabees, like Abraham, like Isaac, like Jacob, because they dwelt with wisdom. That's going to give you an everlasting name. It's not talking about damn Gerald or whatever your physical name is going to last forever, man. And from generation to generation, they'll remember the name Gerald. When you think of Judas Maccabees, you don't think of his specific name. You think of his acts. You think of what he did. When you think of Abraham, you don't just harp on the A, the B, just all these decorations. No, you remember what he did.
Right.
Remember how he offered up Isaac. Remember how he kept the commandments of the Most High. Right? You remember his works that got him an everlasting name. See, a name is just part of what really is the spirit behind your name. Right? What you got?
And I just want to read, just to read the precept for the sake of the question, right? Revelation 3 and 12. But him that overcometh, will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. So when you're a pillar in a temple, it means that you are an integral part of upholding that temple. You are a strength. A pillar represents strength. The Lord told Jeremiah he would make him a pillar, right? The Lord said in the book of Galatians, the first chapter, that Cephas, James, and John, he perceived to be pillars in the church. In Galatians, the first chapter. So when you're a pillar, you represent something to uphold the temple of the Most High. The Most High and his son is the temple, right? That's Revelation. Let me get this quick precept on this, on a deeper level, right? Revelation chapter 21 and 22. And I saw no temple therein, but the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. So you're going to be a pillar, and you're going to dwell in Yahweh Bashmel, and they're going to dwell in you, right? And 144,000, they're going to be pillars. And 1/3, you're going to be a pillar. You're not just going to be a piece of gravel, man. You know, just a big boulder. You're going to be principal use of the kingdom of heaven. It reads, and he shall go no more out. What does it mean he shall go no more out? You won't die anymore. You won't go back in the world anymore. The curse is, cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. When you go out, you die. You're back in the spirit world. You're not going to go no more out. As much as a pillar can't move, you won't be able to move out back in the world or into the realm of death. It reads, and I will write upon him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God. And you see that in buildings today. If you drive past a building, it'll have somebody's name etched in it. Erected 1935. constructed by Wilson and Sons, AD 1930 AD. Usually old libraries, old museums, old churches, old banks that have erected 1655, and they have their name in there, etched in the stone. That's ancient architecture. So that's what the Most High is saying. And when that name is etched in there, everything in that building represents whoever's name is etched in there. Right? If you go to a building that says erected by Satan in the year 1666, what do you think is in there, man? Lust, freakism, madness, debauchery, raunchiness. Right? But if you go into a temple and it says Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai? Everything in there is going to be perfect, upright, godly. So it's not the Most High is going to literally write upon us his name. It's when you etch something into stone, like the foundation of the kingdom of heaven has the name of the 12 apostles in it. Right? It's all hip talk. It's all spiritual. And when it says, I will write upon him my new name, the Most High is going to give us the new covenant, the laws in our inward parts. We're going to truly know Yahweh Bashmi Abashai, and we're not going to know him in part. Right? The Lord said right now we prophesy in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and 12. Right? So it's all Revelation is extremely parabolic. But you got it, King.
Con, let's sit on that. Yeah.
Con. And then the new manna, right? In Revelation 2 and 17. I'll read that real quick. Revelation 2 and 17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. Right, so that's also spiritual. It's not an actual, the Lord, you're going to pull out this big jar of manna, right? Yeah, I know you've been waiting on this, right? You've been waiting on this. You get a piece. Come on, boys and girls. Okay, boys and girls, everybody get a piece of manna. And the Lord sit down, right? Line up, boys and girls. And then all of the boys and girls, no, man. And he just dropped manna. That's what them wicked pedophiles do, them Catholic priests. You stand up. I don't know where they keep that stuff at. Them nasty crackers. They probably pull it out they garment. Pull it out their garment and they lay it on your tongue, man. Oh, that was good. I wonder. No, man. Yeah, where did they get that from? Because you can't buy it at Walmart. It ain't at Myers, Kroger's, Safeway, Giant, Publix. It ain't nowhere. I've never seen that in aisle 3. So where are they getting it from? They just making it. Probably got a sweatshop of little boys putting it together, man. Right? But the hidden manna is really just the secret, right? Knowledge and understanding. Right? You got it. I know you might have a precept.
Come. And two, the manna is bread sent down from heaven. And we know that Yahweh Shai is the true bread. Now we're eating bread that we're physically going to perish by, because this is the true bread that's going to have you to last and live forever. So when we eat the manna of the Lord, the hidden manna, yeah, we eat the Lord in part, right? If you got ears to hear, we drink the Lord, right? That's the blood. We eat the Lord. That's the bread. That's the word, right? Just like the Lord said, right? It was hard for some of his disciples to really receive what he was saying. Then they walked no more with him. It was too deep, right? Let me get this real fast. It's John chapter 6, right? In verse 56. I'm going to start at 55. Right? It says, for my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him. Right? So if you eat the blood of the Lord, drink the blood of the Lord, which is, you understand, the blood that he died for, the bread of the Lord, it's the word of the Lord. If you in the Lord and his blood covers you, then guess what? Right? You're in him and he in you. But if you don't drink the blood of the Lord and eat the bread of the Lord, then you're not in him and he's not in you. Now, if you eat the hidden manna, and that's the body of the Lord, like the brother said, we know the Lord in part, but in that day, we're going to know the Lord whole, right? When we eat the Lord and that hidden mysteries of the things and the revelations, right? The different parts of the earth, where all of the prophecy and totality what the Lord will give us, all that will be presented to us. It says, as the living Father have sent me, and I have lived by the Father, so he that eateth me, even he shall live by me. This is that bread which came down from heaven, not as your fathers did eat manna and are dead. Right? So we eat physical bread and we die. It says, he that eateth of this bread shall live forever. So when we eat of the word and the true doctrine, we live forever. But the Lord didn't give us all of him because we only know him in part. No man can say, well, I know how to break down all of the scriptures. I know all of the history. I walk with you all in totality being perfect. That's why when the hidden things that wasn't revealed to us are revealed to us, that's eating a different part of the Lord that he never gave us at that moment, in that time.
I mean, you have books that you read about in the Bible that we don't even have right now. Numbers chapter 21 is the 14th chapter. 14th verse on down speaks about the book of the wars of the Lord. First Kings 11:40 on down speaks about the acts of Solomon. Second Chronicles 12 and 15 on down speaks about other books. You have many books. This is now written in the chronicles of or genealogies of Idol, the prophet. This is not written in the book of Gad, the seer, the acts of Solomon, right? The book of the wars of the Lord, right? And who knows what's in there, man? What kind of precepts are in there? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Now you can say, no, I got those books. Look, no, those aren't the books. If you think you have those books, you're sadly mistaken. You don't have the real book of Jasher, right? You don't have the real acts of Solomon. And don't let Esau fool you. The sword of Moses. What was that? The hidden sword of Moses. There's no hidden sword of Moses, man. I want to get this in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory. So the hidden manna is hidden wisdom. See, the hidden wisdom right here is what we're pushing out, right? Who the Israelites are, what this truth is, how to receive salvation, Babylon being destroyed. That's the hidden wisdom in this world. But there's more hidden wisdom. There's more to this, man. There's more hidden wisdom. I'm going to jump down to verse 9. But 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man, Slakia, the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. So there are things that man hasn't even seen. Your mind, the Lord said those thoughts haven't even entered into your mind, meaning a lot of people think about the kingdom. You righteously imagine or fantasize what it may be like, the chariots and the sand. That's not, the Most High said, it hasn't even entered into your heart. It's going to be beyond what you even think. So there are going to be, things that the Most High is going to reveal that man doesn't know. That's why the brother went to the precept. He's coming in a name that no man knoweth. There is more to the Lord than you know, than just him walking the earth and feeding and doing miracles and feeding the 5,000, turning water to wine. There is a love that the Most High had with Yahweh Shah before the foundation of the world. There are things that man doesn't know about the Lord, man. Yahweh Shah, he only gave you part, man. He was on a mission in that time. He was on a mission. There's different things of the Lord, man. Right? Let me get this in 1 Corinthians 13, just because we talked about it. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. So we see through a glass darkly, right? The glass is really the word of the Most High. It's truth. Like if you go to somebody's house or a furniture store, you see through the glass darkly, you might do this, right? Put your hands in there, and you can kind of make out what it is. Or that's a sofa, or that's a lamp. Okay, that's a I don't know, a flat screen. You can't really see it in totality, but you see through it darkly. That's why you got to do this. But then once you walk in there and the lights are on, you can say, oh no, that wasn't a flat screen. that was this, and okay, that was a couch, and okay, that lampstand was really a talking, it was really this. And that's how we are in this truth. We're looking through the glass darkly. But then face to face, you're going to literally see Yahushua face to face. And the other beautiful part about this precept, it reads, now I know in part. We know in part, right? I mean, you don't have 100%. It reads, but then shall I know even as also, as even, Slakia, but then shall I know even as also I am known. So the Lord knows everything about you. He says, you're going to know even as you are known. Right? Meaning what? If the Lord know everything about you, you're going to know things about the Most High and about Yahushua that you never knew. And that's the hidden manna. Right? You got it, King.
Khan. Right? And I want to pull this quick precept. Right? This is the book of John. Right? Chapter 21 and verse 25. And there were also many other things which Yahushua did, the which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose, that even the world itself cannot contain the books, right, that should be written. Amen. So the Lord said all the books of the world, right, and the biggest library, right, the Library of Alexandria with over 400,000 scrolls, right, if you would have literally take all of that, you still couldn't write up all of what Yahushua did, all of his miracles, all of the things he did, right? I mean, it's no telling what the Lord, went through, man. I mean, he suffered in the flesh just like we do. Don't we have night sweats and night terrors? Right? The Lord may have had dreams. Right? We don't. A lot of stuff is not written of what the Lord did, the miracles he did. You think all of his miracles are written? Every last one of them? No. Everything that he did, it's certain things he told the apostles, right? Apart from the crowds, that's not written, right? So the Lord saying, even if all of the books in the world, right, still couldn't contain everything that he did, right? So that just goes to show you another of how much we don't know about the Lord right here. And there were millions of books out here. You got hundreds and thousands and millions of books in the world. And the Lord said none of them could even be close to all of the acts he did. So you're going to know the Lord, right, even in that day as ye are known. And all of that history, all of that accounts, all of the things he did, and the real name he's coming in, we're going to know in that day.
And I want to get another precept. And it was a question I kind of saw later, but I want to break down Zephaniah 3, or go to Zephaniah 3 and 9, because that was another question on here. But it ties into this question too, right? This Zephaniah 3 and 9. It reads, because I've heard brothers go to this precept to say, well, we don't know the name of the Most High right now, right? We don't know the name of his son. We don't know if we have the real Hebrew. We don't know if we have the holy tongue. We're winging it, right? Every brother just winging it, and you'll figure out later what it is. Well, that's not of the Most High, right? See, and one just a quick anecdote about that, as Yaradon would say, how come every other language could be real but the Hebrew? Right? Everybody speaks Spanish, English, German, Italian, French, and nobody says, well, I don't know if that's the real French. You're not speaking the real Spanish. Here's the real Spanish, right? Here's the real English. Here's the real German. But when it comes to the Hebrew, now you have become a master of the Hebrew to say, well, that's definitely not the real Hebrew, right? That's just madness, man. And there's never been any proof behind that. There's never been any proof on what the real Hebrew is. In order to say if something's not the real Hebrew, you got to show what the real Hebrew is. I can't say that's not the real Raya, right? Or the real so-and-so without proving what the real one is, if that makes sense. So don't let nobody come and tell you that this isn't the real. Well, tell them, okay, well, what's the real Hebrew? Well, I don't know. Well, I can't. Well, if they can't go and show you what the real Hebrew is and what the real Hebrew characters are, then they got to shut the hell up. Straight up and down. That's like us going into a doctrine, saying that's a false doctrine, and then we don't go into what the real understanding is. That's an unjust balance. Here we are to tell you, okay, well, this is the true understanding of John 3:16. Right? Or we say, look, that's not what John 3:16 is talking about, and we kind of leave it alone. No, No, that's madness. We got to show what he's really talking about. So if we're not saying the real name of the Most High, then what is it? If we're not going to call him a false name. If the name of the Most High isn't what we call it, then what is it? Because whatever you calling it, how do you know that's the real name? You have to disprove what the Hebrew is by showing what the true Hebrew is. We'll just put that out there. Right? But I do want to get this precept too, since we're talking about the name, and we love the name of the Most High. We love the name of Yahweh. Bashim Yahushai, man. As our fathers have done, and fathers have loved. You know how much Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has done for us, man? There's no other name being pushed on the earth and the work that brothers are doing in any other name than the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Look at the Yahushua spirit. What the hell is going on with the Yahushua? Yahuwah. Everybody may have known somebody to say the name Yahuwah. More than likely, they got a kufi on their head. They're OT Israelite. And they probably, sacrificing the chicken in the backyard, man. With sandals on. Now, there's nothing wrong with wearing sandals, right? But it's a different name behind these different spirits. Yahweh. I'm not kicking it with a brother say Yahweh. We both get in straits. We in straits in affliction, and he's calling the name of the Most High. He's saying Yahweh, Yahweh. Hey, I'm getting out of there. I don't want to be with a brother. Yahweh, Yahweh, help me. Oh, Yahweh. There is no Yahweh. Okay, you call on Yahweh, I call on Yahweh, and we'll see who's delivered. We bet our life on that, man. Elijah bet his life on that. And he said, you call on the name of your God, man. I'm going to call on Yahweh. Let's see what happened. And you saw what happened. So the name of the Most High is very important, man. Don't let nobody minimize the importance of the name of the Most High. Right? The Lord said, call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will hear thee, and thou shalt glorify me. So let me get this real quick, Salakia, before I go on a rant. Right? Zephaniah 3:9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent. So 2 quick points. First of all, when it says a pure, that's why you have to go precept upon precept. It's not as if we're not saying the Hebrew right now with a pure language, right? When you go through the scriptures, they link up and give you the understanding, right? The pure language is not necessarily just going into the Hebrew, it's going into the spirit of truth that you utter out of your mouth, right? The words of the Most High, right? When you go to Isaiah, the 19th chapter, it says 5 cities shall speak the language of Canaan. Does that mean you're going to have, let me get that real quick, right? Let me get that in Isaiah 19. It doesn't mean that literally 5 cities are literally going to start just utterly speaking the ancient Hebrew in America. No, it's hip talk. Right now, we're speaking the language of Canaan. What is the language of Canaan? Repent, keep the commandments, serve the Most High. It's all metaphoric. All right, this Isaiah, real quick, chapter 19 and verse. Just want to get that precept. 19 and 18. And that day shall 5 cities speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts, one shall be called the city of destruction. So either you're speaking the language of Canaan or the language of Babylon. Either you're speaking the pure language or you're speaking the language of Esau and his world. So the Most High is going to all have us call upon him with one consent, which means we're all going to have the knowledge, the understanding, the words of the Most High, the laws on our inward parts, to all serve the Most High in the exact same fashion, because nobody's going to go off. Nobody's going to have no other doctrine. Nobody's going to be teaching no other name. We're all going to serve the Most High, right? And then it says that they may all call upon Yahweh with one consent. So if the name of the Most High is going to change with a pure language, why would it say you're going to call upon Yahweh with one consent? Right? So that's I just wanted to make that point.
Another cut when you read the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 13. It says, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Right? So when you call upon the name of the Lord, right, you're calling upon his works, right? You're going into the prophecy, the commandments, totality, and the Hebrew. You have to call upon the name of the Lord to be saved, man. Who are you going to call on? Right? When you read the book, right, of Psalms, let me get this quick precept. Right? Chapter 50. Right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 50, and verse number 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble. So if you're calling upon the Most High, what are you calling him, man? You're calling them some watered down Hebrew dialect, Yahushiwi, right? Yahshua, Jehovah, damn, Yahweh, and all of these different words, man. No, you have to call upon the Lord with the true tongue. There's only one name. Book of Acts, chapter 4, and verse 12. It says, call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. And it's fitting that a lot of people don't really call upon the true name because it's not given to them. It's only given to the elect. It's only given to that small remnant, right, that the Most High has chosen. The Lord said in Malachi chapter 1 and verse 14, cursed be the deceiver, which have in his flock a male and voweth a sacrifice unto the Lord, a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. Right, you got Israelites that's heathens, man. It's not always talking about Esau and Moab, right, Ishmael. Right, you think Robert down the street holding that big beard, right, that's keep going off every day, that does not want to hear the words of the Most High? All these wicked pastors deserve to say the Most High's name? That would be complete blasphemy to say the true name of the Most High and teach witchcraft along with it. To teach fornication and all type of pass the election plate around and let's do another selection. Can you imagine that in the church, man? The Lord will burn that place. The Lord's name is dreadful among the heathen. So when you say the Lord's name, what comes with that is fear, knowledge, right? That the truth comes with that. And everybody isn't given the truth. You got it, Ken.
Yeah, and you gotta, this thing is spiritual. This thing is spiritual. You gotta have a high level of discernment, because if you, in the world, we have all heard a lot of these names, God, Jesus, right? These are, everybody hears that. But so when you come into the truth, the Most High is going to give you a different spirit. He's going to give you, he's not going to give you the same name you had when you were smoking crack. The same name you had when you was a murderer. The same name you had when you was doing God knows what, man. The Most High gave Moses, when Moses got the name of the Most High, he said, you know, Lord, what is your name? How are they going to believe me? He gave him, he said, look, my name is Yahweh, man. Now he said, I am that I am, but we know that as he is, right? Which is the Yah's he and Yahweh is, right? So it's Yahweh. You can say he exists, right? And then we was given a God and Jesus by our slave masters. So are we going to call upon the God given to us by our slave masters to save us from our slave masters? Now are we saying, is it a sin to say God and Jesus? Are you going to be destroyed? Right? Are you? No. Sometimes we say God, right? Sometimes you say Jesus if we're teaching and the people don't understand. And then we say, okay, well, look, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We'll say, how shall the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ? Or we say the Most High, right? For edification purposes. But in the spirit in our heart, right? We believe in the name, his name's Yahweh, his son name's Yahweh Shah. And we always teach that when an opportunity presents itself. Hey, look, here's the name of the Most High. Here's the name of his son. All right, but we're telling you the name of the Most High. All right, if you don't believe in the name of the Most High, then that's on you. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. But that's the name of the Lord. Right? Now, this is I want to get this quick precept, right? In the Psalms 44. Right? Shalom, Yaradan.
Shalom.
Shalom, King.
Shalom, King.
Quick precept, Psalms chapter 40 and verse 19. Psalms 44 and 19. Though thou hast sore broken us in the place of dragons, and covered us with the shadow of death, if we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not the Most High search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. See that? Even though we're in America, this is the place of dragons. A dragon is a serpent, a violent beast, pursuant to Revelation 13 and 11. Revelation chapter 20, Revelation 12. This is the land of dragons. You understand? Now the Most High said, even though we're in a place of captivity, and we have forgotten the name of our God. Okay, so if it said, if we have forgotten the name of our God, we would have had known the name of the Most High before. Did we know the name of the Most High as God, Jesus, Yahweh, Hashem, Jehovah? No. We have to, like the Lord said, remember the Sabbath. Remember his name. We're not just going to keep some new Sabbath. We're going to remember the one we had of old. We're not just going to find some new name of the Most High. Okay, here's his new name. Okay, let's just, no, man. And every servant of the Most High has to come in the name of a God. Every prophet, every servant, you come in the name of a God. People come in the name of Satan, in the name of Brahma, in the name of Allah. What name are you coming in? Moses came in the name of Yahweh. We come in the name of Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. And it says the Most High will search out if you forgot what his name was, man. So it's very imperative. And if you know the name of the Most High and you ignore it, the Most High is going to get up with you. See, when I first came to the truth, I didn't know the name of the Most High. Right? And I was still doing God knows what, man. You know, I wasn't on, not that we're all dust and ashes, but I wasn't on where I'm at now. You know? And a lot of brothers didn't know the name of the Most High. You know? But when you come in, the Most High gives you his name, man. Like the brother said, he's going to give you that name. You're going to speak the language of Canaan. You're going to speak that pure language, which is really the word being in your mouth, the spirit of truth. Well, I just want to make that point.
I got a quick precept.
Con.
Brothers may have brought it out already, but it reads in Exodus chapter 20, verse 7, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Just to line back off the point, we always knew the name of the Lord. It's not a great mystery or a great dark parable or sentence, you know, not realizing and not calling upon the name of the Lord. That's something we've done since the beginning.
Right, I'm going to get this quick precept too. Right, and these precepts are straight cuts. If you can't see all these accounts and all of these precepts saying we knew the Lord's name, to let that the book of Revelation, which is literally similitudes and dark parables about the revelation of the Lord and the end times, confuse you, right? Then that says a lot. It's the book of Exodus chapter 23 and verse 13. It says, and in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. So if we didn't know the name of the Lord, right, then we essentially would be saying the name of another God all the time from Exodus, all the time that we're living in now, right? If we didn't know the name of the Lord, if we didn't know the true name, we'd be calling them this, we'd be calling them that, right? Anything we would have called upon them would have been another name, right? We had to have a name for another name to be false, because we would have to have the true name for the other name to be false. What's God?
Yeah, I want to make one quick precept on that. Now, you just read it says, neither shalt thou make slucky. What does that say? Make mention of another name. Greatly paraphrased. Now, this is Leviticus 18 and 21. And this Moses speaking, he's teaching this. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am Yahweh. Now, did Moses go off because he just said Molech? No, you have plenty of our fathers condemning Baal, Molech, Adremelech, Raphaim, all these false gods. Now, when it says, let it don't be heard out of your mouth, it means don't serve that God. Don't call upon him. Because when you call upon him, you got to start following him. You got to start eating of his sacrifices. You got to start going to his temple. You got to start dealing with this woman. You got to start setting up those idols. It all starts with making mention of them. All right. That's why it says don't make mention of them. But yet Moses said the word Molech. Moses didn't make mention of Molech as in, okay, we're all going to serve him. Right. What is that? What's the direct precept for that in Exodus 23 and 13? Exodus 32, when Aaron said, behold, these be thy gods, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. That's making a mention of another God. Because what did the people do? They started freaking off. You know, and serving these other gods. And they had a feast unto the Lord in the wilderness. Right? So you can't make mention of these gods and call upon them. But we can condemn these false gods. We can say the hell with Molech, man. We can say that. We can say, man, hey, we don't give a damn about Buddha, Brahma, Shiva, Zeus, man. The hell with those so-called gods. But we can't make mention of them by serving them. Right? Otherwise, Moses would have went off. And a lot of our forefathers, they named these so-called gods. And they would have went off, man. You know, so that just to make that point, that shows you that the name, the pure tongue, is making mention of it. All right. And I got a quick precept for that, real quick. This is Romans, one quick precept. Romans chapter 15 and verse 16. It's like at 15 and I just had it. Bear with me. Salakia, real quick. This is boy. Salaki, let me get this. This is Romans chapter 15, and I'm gonna start at 6. That ye may with one mind and one mouth glorify the Most High, even the Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. So one mind, one mouth, right? The Lord said, I will give them a pure language they may call upon him with one consent. So that's the same spirit of having one mouth to glorify the Most High, right? And one mind. We're all going to serve the Most High in singleness of heart, right? You got a yard down, Salaki.
I didn't have anything.
Okay. Kind of. Well, the spirit had us kind of going to that one. Hey, man, I get defensive, man, about the name of the Most High. Right? Stop playing with the name of the Lord, man. You know what happens to people that don't make mention of the name of the Most High? What happened to Herod? Nebuchadnezzar. Who a lot of our forefathers, man. What's like Herod's not a forefather or Nebuchadnezzar, but a lot of people in the scriptures, man. In Acts 12, he said, it is the voice of God, not of man. And then the Lord killed Herod. The Lord turned Nebuchadnezzar to a beast. I don't need to call on the name of the Most High. What happened to the prophets in 1 Kings 18 chapter who called on Baal from morning until evening? The Lord killed them. Hey, the Most High, his name is jealous. That's how much the Most High wants you to call him. His name is jealous. Yeah, that's a metaphor within itself, man. The Most High is so jealous, his name is jealous. That's idolatry, man. Let your woman call you another name. Right? Oh, not come. Oh, I meant Joe. What? You know? Hey, Bob, you mean, hold on, what? Ain't no man just going to let his woman just call him another name. I don't even got to ask these brothers, man. And that's a big deal. Now you can say, well, it's not a big deal to me. I mean, well, brother, that's why you're going to let it not be a big deal if you want to. Your woman can call you Joe. She can call you Smitty. She can call you Nelson. Oh, Nelson, I was just thinking about it, and you don't question it. You're going to be jealous, man. Jealousy is the rage of a man. Calling me another name. So the Most High is jealous, man. You're married to the Lord. A wife can't just call her husband anything. You better call him his name. Or it's going to be a big deal. You know? How much more us? as the bride of the Most High. And a wedding is coming, man. The Lord ain't going to marry somebody that don't know his name. Imagine the bride coming down to you, want to marry, and then you don't know his name, man. And this guy, he'll call off the marriage. You know, he might put your veil back on to take that ring, and he might walk out. My brother's guy, just want to make that point.
God, I was just gonna say, yeah, name holds a lot of weight, a whole lot of weight, and us, or by some people who may say we don't know the name of the Lord, that really further separate you and the Lord. You know, because in every good relationship, you're gonna know the person's name, among other things that they may like or dislike, even things of that nature. So how much more the Lord? I mean, to not know the name of the Lord is scary because you don't really realize what type of spirit he's coming in. You don't know. It's hard to associate him with his works because it's just nameless. You're making the Lord nameless. You know, that's not kosher. It's not clean. You know.
Yeah, that don't even sound right, man. Making him nameless. Like, oh, we don't know his name. Like he's the unknown God in Acts the 17th chapter. That's what the Apostle Paul said. You call him the unknown God. That's off. Oh, I'm just serving the unknown God. Right? I mean, that, you know, we don't know. Just say the unknown God. Because you can't say, well, we don't know the name of the Most High, then give him a name. You got to call him the unknown God. Let me get that in Acts 17. Right? Then we still got to get into this World War III. Right? We still got to get into this World War III. Let me get this real quick. Acts 17 and 23. For I passed by and beheld your devotions. I found an altar with the inscription, to the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. You see that? So he called him the unknown God, man. These Israelites in Athens, I believe that's Areopagus, Mars Hill. You know. So, but we know the name of the Lord, man. What is his name and what is his son's name? If thou canst tell, in Proverbs chapter 30. And we'll get mad, man, about the name of the Most High. We love the name of the Most High. We pray to the name of the Most High. We thank the name of the Most High. We sing songs and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. There's no name like Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And we say, call hello Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And the Most High loves to be praised, man. The angels praise him, say, holy, holy, holy. All day, every day, man. And if you're not praising the name of the Most High, then what are you doing? What are you doing? That's what this thing is about, man. Thanking and praising Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Let me get one more in that. This is Romans. I got to get this. We talked about it, but let me get this. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Remember when the Most High destroyed the Egyptians, everybody knew who did it. Rahab the harlot, the people of Jericho, everybody knew the name of the Most High. That's why he did it, man. He destroyed Egypt. Now everybody knew the name Yahweh. And the Lord got him a name. Moses told the Most High, he said, if you kill us all in the wilderness, what are you going to do to that great name? You know, because everybody knew, oh, that's Yahweh. It was a lot of talk on who destroyed the Egyptians. Okay, was it the Hittites? Did they rise up? Was it the Cushites? Was it everybody had big talk, but then they found out who did it, and they said Yahweh. Well, who's that? Who's he's the God of the Hebrews. The God of the Hebrew. And they was shaking, man. Because they knew the Most High destroyed the earth before. And they said, basically, hey, he's back. Because they thought the Most High wasn't around. Because his people was in slavery. Like they always say, where's the Lord thy God? It's a lot of precepts that say, where should the heathen say, where is the Lord your God? So the Most High was kind of, for lack of better terms, was dormant, man, when we was in captivity. But the Most High showed himself. And everybody knew, oh, Yahweh. Basically, he's back. And that's what the Most High is doing now, man. When the Most High destroyed the so-called white man and destroy America, under what name is he really going to be praised? And if you think the Most High is going to get glory under the name of Jesus, then you're sadly mistaken. Because what is Jesus associated with, man? A so-called white man. You think the Most High is going to do that? Jesus came. What is the first thing the people of the earth are going to think about? So-called white man. He came and took down other so-called white man. Another civil war. That thing is a civil war between Esau and Esau. No, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. That's the name the Most High. Everybody's going to know. Oh, Yahweh. Ba'Shem Yahushai, Yahushai. Yahweh why Yahushai. Yahweh Ba'Shem Hamashiach Wamalak Yahushai. Call Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem. Everybody's going to know the name of the Most High. When he destroyed America. He's going to get his name, his reputation. And we want the Most High name to be magnified, man. Everybody praising all these other gods. Santa Claus, Father Time, Old Man Winter, the universe, Mother Nature, Karma, Allah, Jesus, Buddha, Brahma. February be good to me. Aquarius. All these gods they praising, man. But the days draw nigh when everybody's going to praise Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Right? You got it.
Con, I got something through the spirit. Right. Let me go to the book of Isaiah. Right, chapter 62 and verse number 6. It says, I've set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. So, I mean, what are you speaking about? You're speaking about the prophecies. You're speaking about his name. You're magnifying his name. Doesn't it say in the book of Sirach, I believe, was that 17 and 11 or 12? So, like, let me get that real fast. The Lord said the elect shall praise his holy name.
Right.
Let me get that real fast. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 10. It says, the elect shall praise his holy name. So if you're a part of the elect, you're going to be praising the name of the Lord, man. Doesn't it say in the book of Psalms, right, chapter 150, everything is going to praise the Most High, paraphrasing extremely greatly, right, from all of the animals, right, the angels, man, woman, child, right? If you're of the elect, you're going to praise the Most High. The Lord said, the Lord have sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength. Surely I will know more. Right, I could rest right there, but that was the point. Right, if you make mention of the Lord, you're never going to hold your peace. The elect is going to be praising the name of the Lord. And when you go to the book of Psalms, I believe 138, let me get this other quick precept. Right, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 130, right, 8. This whole thing is fire. I'm going to start at 1. I will praise thee with my whole heart. But for the gods which I sing praise unto thee, I will worship toward thy holy temple and praise thy name for thy loving kindness, for thy truth, for thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name. Right? So David said, look, I'm going to praise your name. I'm going to magnify your name. And we make our boast in the Lord all the day long. It says that in the book, right, of Psalms, chapter 34. Right? So when we go into this thing, yes, we know the name. That's how we're able to get our strength, by calling on the name of the Lord. The name of the Lord is a strong refuge, like it says in Psalms 99. Our brothers got it.
Yeah, and quick point. I've heard brothers use that precept to say the name of the Most High don't matter. See, it says he magnified his word above his name. So his word is really above his name. So let's kind of, no, that's not what it's saying. Every man's word should be above their name, right? Just because you are who you are doesn't mean that you can just diminish your word, man. Your word should be bond, regardless if you a king, regardless if you a mighty man. Your word, every man of dignity, his word is above his name. That's like you being you the head of your house or you the husband, right? You put something out there and you could just renege it anytime, man, and just double back or not double back, but just take it away, man, because you're the head of the household. No, your word should be above your name, man. That's how it is with the Most High. See, the Most High has promises. What it's saying is the Most High made promises, man, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And even though he's the Most High, even though he's Yahweh, he can do what he want to do. His word is above his name. So he's not going to disannul the promises, even though he's Yahweh. If his word goes out, see, the Most High has something that man doesn't really have, and that's integrity, man. That's honor, right? The Most High is not a liar. Man reneges and takes stuff back, and I can do this because I'm over you, and I kind of said it, but I really no, man. Hey, the Most High, he masters his power. He mastered his power, so whatever he say is going to come to pass. Now he's the Most High. He could do what he want to do. Hey, but his word is out there, and it is what it is, and the Most High stands on it, man. He stands on what he said. He stands on everything he said, man. He's going to fulfill everything he said. That's what it means. His word is above his name. His name is Yahweh. His word is above his name. And that's deep about the word of the Most High. Right? You got it, King.
And I got a precept that land me back on that. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 48, verse 9. For my name's sake, I will defer mine anger. And for my praise, I will refrain from thee, that I cut thee not off. Right? And that's linking right up with the same exact precept, man. Right? For the Lord's name's sake, he would defer his anger. Because his name says what? Promises. Right? His name said he won't be angry forever to destroy you, right, off the face of the earth, that he will give you the kingdom, right? The laws and the inward parts. All of those promises of what the Lord has promised as far as the laws and the inward parts, that haven't came to pass yet, man. Brothers forget precepts left and right sometimes. Our brothers forget maybe a doctrine, got to go over it again, got to go over numbers, whatever the case may be, numerology, going inside of etymology. We have to continuously study these things or we'll lose them. Right? The law isn't in our inward parts yet. But the Lord said for his name's sake, he would defer his anger. And he may get so mad to do something, even though you have power. But you know what? I said it's out there. But for my name, I'm going to defer the anger I have so that my promise, my mercy, my word may go forth. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. For mine own sake, even for mine own sake, will I do it. And then the Lord said, look, I'm going to do it to keep my word and my name. That's what I said I'm going to do. Or I'm not doing it because you're crying, you sighing, right? You repenting all day. The Lord don't have to take your apologies. You don't have to take all of your repetitions and all of your prayers. You may have bloody hands when you approach him to him. Like when you read the book of Isaiah chapter 59, right? The Lord's arms are not short, right? But you got bloody hands. But for the Lord's name, he says, for my name's sake, even for my own sake will I do it. For how shall my name be polluted? Meaning if the Lord kept taking back stuff he said, then man could charge the Lord with something, man. And that's off. That's impossible. Right? Yeah, the Lord said he's going to do this, but he didn't do it. But now you questioning, well, should I serve him? Will he renege? No, there's no blots or blemishes on the Lord's name. So his name can't be polluted. When he says something, it's going to come to pass. Because everything he's ever said came to pass. And no matter how mad he was, wrathful or wroth, it still came to pass. You got it.
Con. Yeah, and that's that's plain upon tables, man. And your name don't change wherever you go. We have to deal with that at camp. Wherever you go, your name's Yahweh Shai, bro. When Yahweh Shai was crucified, it had on the cross names written in Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, bro. Right? But the Lord's name is still Yahweh Shai. right? You can write a name in Russian. You can write a name in Italian. You can write a name in Spanish, English. You can write my name. You still got to say Naquan, right? You still got to say Naquan, despite the language that you write it in, man. Those sounds, consonants, things still have to be uttered through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So the name of the Most High, just want to make that point, don't change wherever you go. Your name don't change. If your name Naquan and you're in China, they still got to call you Naquan. There's no Chinese name for Naquan, right? There's no Chinese name for Araya or Yaradan. Their name is Araya, man, or Yaradan. So I just want to put that because you said, what if you go to China? No, man. If I go to China and they call me something else, it's going to be a problem. You better call me what my name is, right? And my tongue. I just want to make that point.
I got on that too. This is the mighty book of Judges, chapter 12, in verse, number 5. And the Gileadites took the passages of Jordan before the Ephraimites. And it was so that when those Ephraimites which were escaped said, let me go over, that the men of Gilead said unto him, art thou an Ephraimite? If he said nay, then say they unto him, say now, Shibbuleth. And he said, Shibbuleth. He pronounced it wrong, man. He jacked it up. It says, for he could not frame to pronounce it right. Then they took him and slew him at the passage of Jordan. And there fell at that time the Ephraimites 40 and 2,000. Man, you better get that pronunciation right, man, or they'll kill you. Right? I mean, that's in the ancient world. How much more the name of the Most High? We're not going to play with the name of the Most High to mispronunciate it, put all these E's in it, man. Right? And all of these Z's and all these different things that they jam in there with their own doctrine. Those men, they say, look, if you pronounce this right, cool. But if not, hey, you're going to get slowed through, man. And then what happened? They jammed up the pronunciation. They didn't know how to say it right. And those men died to death. So that's how you got to have the same mentality with the Most High's name. You better say that name correctly. The true name, the righteous name, with the pronunciation that the Most High gave you. You got it.
Come. That's right, man. So we got, the Spirit had us go a little longer into, because, that is a heavy doctrine. That is a heavy doctrine, man. Right? The name of the Most High, we don't know it. We don't know the name of the Lord. I believe you did a cold cut a long time ago in the name of the Most High. Yep. I don't know if that was on the Resurrected channel. Was that on this?
Nah, it was like two cold cuts ago.
Two cold cuts ago. Yep. So
Lord willing, I could do that one again.
Yeah, Lord willing, brothers could do that again. Go into the name of the Most High, because the name of the Most High matters through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, now there's other news going on through the Spirit, right? Is war. Now that was the first question, right? We did with one question, but that's all right though. It's a series, right? This is volume 3, but also the questions on the table is World War III about to start, right? Is World War III about to start? So I'm gonna share my screen, right? And let's see what's going on through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Is World War III. Now there's a new alliance and operation being formed today. Now this is from INT Defender, right? Or Scent Defender. Now this is all over. This is actually trending. Last time I checked, it was trending, right? About Operation Prosperity Guardian. That's where I got this from. It's one of the trending topics in the earth right now, right? Operation Prosperity Guardian, right? Now, what is this? U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has officially announced today the beginning of Operation Prosperity Guardian in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, which will involve a a multinational maritime coalition of at least 10 countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Bahrain, Canada, France, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Seychelles, if I'm pronouncing that right, and Spain, who will address security challenges in the region while ensuring freedom of navigation. So pretty much, Babylon the Great, if you've been watching, they've been being constantly barraged and attacked by the Houthi rebels who are backed up by Iran. Right now, they're stationed out in Lebanon, Yemen, and these different parts. And they've been being attacked, I believe, over 40 times. And we can look it up. How many times has America been attacked? We can look it up. And now they actually, as of recently, shot down a few of those missiles, man. You know, they shot down a few of those missiles. And then as of today, they said, look, no games, no more games. That's what Babylon the Great said. We sending more ships down there with 10 other countries. And most of these are NATO countries. US, UK. I got to look up Bahrain, but Canada, France, Italy, Netherlands, or I believe Norway, those are all NATO countries. So if one of those countries get attacked down there, all hell gonna break loose, right? Brothers got it. I want to find this too. How many times has U.S. been attacked? Let's see. You see that? U.S., UK said he shot down 15 drones from Yemen's Houthis over the Red Sea. U.S. led this all over hours ago, right? U.S. led coalition of 10 nations. See that? To counter Houthi attacks on vessels in the Red Sea, right? Because America, believe it or not, have been getting attacked day in and day out. So now they kind of finally fighting back. Everybody was wondering, are they going to fight back? Now they're fighting back. And another point real quick. Now this is from Brian's Breaking News and Intel and the Iran Observer. The chief of staff of the Iranian armed forces has just made a post following the announcement by the United States of the start of Operation Prosperity Guardian, stating this is what Iran said. Iran will stand by the people of Yemen until the end. Here's what they said. We will provide advisory and intellectual assistance to the Yemeni People's Army and stand by the people until the end. You see that? So you got Iran, Yemen, Babylon the Great. Things are heating up out there, man. The next missile attack, like we said, it could be the last, man. It could be the beginning of Article 5 in World War III. Let me see. And they just released that. That's from the Pentagon. Right? See, people asking, does this mark the start of World War III? About time. Right? So everybody's on the edge of their seat trying to see if the next attack is going to kick off World War III. And I got a quick precept on that. Right? This is Luke chapter 21 and verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So these things are going to come to pass. You're going to hear of commotions, wars, tumults, and this is the Lord gathering his army out there, man. Right? Gathering the nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or damn near close to it, and to that same region. Right? Brothers got it. Got a precept. Okay, Salaki, I don't know if brother's still on there. Let me see. All right, I got a quick precept.
Okay.
Right, Salaki, this is this reminded me reading Maccabees, first Maccabees during the Feast of Dedication, right? This is first Maccabees chapter 8 and 32. Right, here's what the Roman said to Demetrius, right? About the Jews. This is Romans 8 and 31. Now, even though, and I mean, first Maccabees 8 and 31, even though the Romans was talking about us as the Jews, right now, Esau, he's pretending to be the Jews. And a modern day Roman is America. Now, listen to what Rome said about the Jews, and this pertains until now. And that's touching the evils that Demetrius doeth to the Jews. We have written unto him, saying, wherefore thou made thy yoke heavy upon our friends and confederates, the Jews. Now, again, that's speaking about in antiquity, us. Because remember, Judas Maccabees sent the league out to make amity with the Romans. But on another level right now, the Romans, the modern day Romans, are friends with the modern day Jews. Who's the modern day Jew? Amalek. Who's the modern day Roman? America. So they're essentially saying, why are you troubling our friends, the Jews? And they're dropping bombs in Israel. You understand? Killing them all up in Gaza. So now the Romans are getting involved. Now listen to this. First Maccabees 8 and 32. If therefore they complain any more against thee, we will do them justice and fight with thee by sea and by land. That's how the Romans get down, man. If you keep attacking, that's what they do to their allies. If you attack an ally of America, an ally of NATO, an ally of the Tin Horns, they fight against you by sea and by land. They have something called the Navy SEALs, man. What is SEAL? What is the SEALs acronym? Sea, air, and land, if I'm not mistaken. And right now they attack by land, but they'll attack you by sea too, man. Right? A Roman envoy. And they did that during the time of the Maccabees. Right? You got it, Yaradon.
I was just going to get the classic in Revelation 11 and 14. 11 and 14. The second woe is past. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right? For those who may not know, the woe is war, destruction. That's the winds. Right? The third woe cometh quickly. Now, according to history and according to the world, we all know there's already been two world wars, and there's another war that's impending. It's coming very, very soon, and Esau knows it, and that's why they're trying to push out all these movies as well. Carol and the End of the World. You got the Civil War movie coming up soon. You have Leave the World Behind, and just so on and so forth. And it's coming out back to back to back. And Esau always tries to, do those subliminal messages, but the point of the matter is, the Lord's coming quickly. And he's giving you these warnings,
Okay. So, this thing can heat up, man. This thing is going to heat up. Everybody's getting involved. Everybody's getting involved. And the Most High setting this thing up, man. See, no Arab countries, Saudi, Jordan, Egypt, or UAE. Right? So NATO, they making a mark down there. They're making their mark. And again, there's something called Article 5 of NATO. What is Article 5? Right? We talk about it all the time. Right? Let's go to Article 5 of NATO. Let's type that in real quick. Article 5 of NATO. Okay, let's see. We'll just read the brief synopsis, right? Article 5. The key section of the treaty is Article 5. Its commitment clause defines the causes for derrits. It commits each member state to consider an armed attack against one member state and the areas defined by Article 6 to be an armed attack against them all. So you attack Canada, you attack Babylon the Great. If they attack the UK, they attack America. They attack America, they attack France, Germany, all of these nations, Belgium, Italy, Spain, Portugal. That's how World War III is going to be exasperated due to these different leagues, man. You know, and Iran is backing up the Houthi rebels. So it's really looking like NATO, and you got these different alliances being formed. Like we always say, everybody's picking a side, man. People are picking a side of the West, and some people are picking a side of the East, man. And that's a big deal. Because right now they're just shooting little missiles, and Iran said, hey, look, we got you. So it's only a matter of time before things heat up. And right now, Jake, what is Jake on? What is Jake worried about? Niggatry, folly, sports, who's going to win a Super Bowl? Right now, there's a Jake getting drunk, man. There's a few Jakes sitting in a car getting high right now, talking about Keisha and Tammy. You know, and Tamika. There's two Eves fighting right now in a parking lot at a gas station over a nickel bag of weed and a bottle of Remy. You know, you got Jake standing up right now, man, praying that he becomes the next big rapper. And we can only see the vanities that Israel is involved in. You'll pluck your beard out. The world is on the brink of total nuclear annihilation, and yet the masses of Israel is still in folly. Brothers got it.
Let me bring out this quick precept. Right? And that's that. As you was talking, that just reminded me of the days of Noah, where they were just eating, drinking, lusting, fornicating, right, getting drunk, just doing the lust of their pleasures, right before all hell breaks loose, man. And that's the same spirit we living in now. We're living in the days of Noah, man, all over again. So if you're not watching and building and making sure that you're making your calling and your election sure, you're going to get caught out of there, man. Right? When that rain started to come, you can only imagine the screams, the terrors, right? I should have listened, ripping out their hair, clawing, praying, yelling, screaming, asking for help, calling upon the name of the Lord, calling upon Noah, doing all they could do to be saved. But at that point, guess what? That door is closed, man. The same when we get out of here, that door is going to be closed with just those chariots. So if you're not saved when destruction comes, right, then, I mean, you have nobody to blame but yourself. That's why you should have been laying up, right, treasures for yourself through the spirit, right? You were laying up earthly things, things that made your flesh feel good, right, made you feel good about yourself, entertainment, vanity, right? These things aren't going to help you. This 2 Chronicles chapter 15 and verse number 5. And in those times, there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexations. Right? We're living in a time where great vexations are happening, man. Right? The whole nation is in an uproar, volcanoes. I was talking to the brother before the live, man. Hey, the Lord put together Twitter through the spirit to let you know all this breaking news. We don't have this on the 9 o'clock news, the 7 o'clock news, the 5 o'clock news. Right? The Lord has opened the door through the spirit with all of these different websites, Twitter, Instagram, right, and 1,000 other things, right? Emails. You could check your phone and you could just swipe to breaking news, just like that. Top stories, just like that. You can go to Twitter and type in trending. You could find out about all of these different things, what's going on earth right now, and it's letting you know immediately. It says, there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexations were upon all the inhabitants of the countries. And that's exactly what's going on. Each country is literally going through great vexations. A nation and nations was destroyed of nation, and city of city, and God did vex them with all adversity. And we're living in those days where these nations are forming up. They're not forming up because they like one another. Right? They're not forming up because they enjoy each other's jokes. They're forming up for one reason and one reason only, to go to war. To make sure that they can't be knocked off, you understand, by that next country that they're against and in opposition against. So they're gearing up together for one set mind and goal is destruction. And those allegiances are coming to pass more and more each and every day. So the more you watch, like the brother going into, you got things going on in the sea, right? You got the Army, you got the Air Force, Space Force. These things are gearing up more and more in each and every day. So you want to make sure that you got your mind right in the scriptures, but you also want to know what's going on in this world. When I say this world, I mean the military alliances and what's going on in this mass system. Not what damn sale just happened, man. What's the move for the weekend? But you have to have the understanding of to be able to weigh the times. The Lord told you all the time. Let me get the classic in 2nd Ezra chapter 9. How would you be able to weigh the times and the prophecies of the Lord if you didn't know what was going on in the earth? Right? Yeah, it's very important to read, but you don't want to read and then not look to figure out how the precepts are coming to life by what you witness in the earth. It's the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, when you have to see these things, you have to be watching. Meaning when you look and you see that these times are passing by, you start to weigh everything in the balance. It says, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he had made. So that's when you know the Lord is coming back with vengeance. When you start to weigh the times. You got it.
And I was just saying, oh, go ahead, Yardan, Slakia.
I was going to say in Matthew 26 and 41, watch and pray. I'll just get it. Slakia. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. The Lord said, watch and pray, because you're not going to be praying 24/7, 365. There'll be times where you got to be on the move. You also got to watch and be aware of your surroundings. You got to be aware of what things are happening and coming to pass. In the same way, you watch and see what's the weather going to be tomorrow, what's the traffic like in the morning. You know, you're watching the things when it comes to this life, but how much more on a spiritual realm, and especially when it concerns the prophecies. How much more should you be watching? Jake said, well, I just wait until y'all do this, and then that's my watching. Or brother, you can download that Twitter app and get up to date with all the whistleblowers. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, these tools, like any other tool, if used accordingly, it'll be for your benefit. Twitter is a tool that we use for our benefit, right? And understanding the current events, understanding what's going on in the politics, right? These tools such as Instagram, Twitter, they're beautiful, of course, if used properly. And so again, even as the elders would say, that's the main reason, chief reason why you have YouTube. So the word can be magnified and really his name can be magnified. YouTube wasn't made to watch cat videos and prank videos and watch your favorite celebrities and watch music videos. That wasn't the true intent and purpose of the YouTube. It's really for the word to be magnified. You got to be spiritual to really perceive that. With that, I yield.
Yeah, I mean, you look up the first, I typed in the first YouTube video. It's an Edomite at the zoo, man. 18 years ago.
That was the very first one.
Very first video. Is this what the Yahweh Bashmil Shai set this thing up for, man? Right? Esau at the zoo.
All right, so here we are, one of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long
I think I'm gonna report that video.
Huh?
I think I'm gonna report that video.
Yeah, I mean, who they got? Yeah, so the Most High didn't make YouTube for that, man. They got really, really long trunks. Everybody knows that already, man. It's not something you really need to talk about.
Look at those
Right?
mighty elephants.
Now I wanna bring this back out. Now this is bear with me. Now this reminded me in the Red Sea, the Most High overthrew Pharaoh and his horsemen in the Red Sea, man. So these ships might be in the Red Sea, and they might be overthrown in the Red Sea all over again, man. So they all going, and this is a proud name too, Operation Prosperity Guardian, right? As if they're the Most High, the angels, to protect those and bring you prosperity. I thought Yahweh Bashmel Shah, but Esau. This is them saying, "Look, we're God. We're coming to be God." Didn't Pharaoh try to be the Most High God, man? And the Lord drowned him in the Red Sea. Prosperity Guardian.
That's prideful.
That's proud, man. We're here to guard. This is just madness. Madness, man. Let me get this in Exodus, the 15th chapter. Right? We're here to be God in the Red Sea. We're the angels of the sea. We're here to protect you. Right? Oh, Israel. Like we read in 2nd Maccabees, man. Right? Or 1st Maccabees. Right? We read that exact same thing. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. So the Lord did this 4,000 years ago, man. He brought Pharaoh's army into the Red Sea. And they died in the Red Sea. The Most High is going to have a lot of these ships. Don't think World War III is just going to be on land. World War III, there's war in heaven. Revelation 12, right? And 7 on down. Then there's going to be war in the sea, man. And you're going to have war on the land. You're going to have a war in so-called, what they call so-called space up in the firmament. That's in the heavens. Space Force, man. This is going to be a big deal. Let me get Revelation chapter 8 real quick. This is Revelation chapter 8 and verse 9. We'll start at 8. Revelation 8 and 8. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. That's another name for the missiles. It's just hip talk talking about the missiles dropping, right? And the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed, man. So when World War III kick off, it's going to be massive death when the missiles drop. And the third part of the ships are going to be destroyed by Yahweh Bashmi Shai and these other nations. And these ships are going to drown in the Red Sea, man. You know, and these are expensive ships that hold hundreds of people. They're captains too, because you have captains over chariots and you have captains over these ships, man. And all of these ships, no matter if you go to the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, Gulf of Aqaba, Persian Gulf, Mediterranean Sea. If we were to pull up a map, and I'm going to see if I can find one, America is putting ships in that entire region. They sent about 3 ships, I believe that Dwight Eisenhower and Washington, I believe, to the Mediterranean. Now they're sending more ships on the other side to the Red Sea. So they stationed up. World War III is on the rise, man. I'm gonna see if I can find that. Brothers God.
Right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 17. It says, for in 1 hour, two great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster, and all the companies and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Right, so you're going to have in the midst of war, them already out there witnessing the bombs drop. It's going to be like everybody watching it all at the same time. and they're going to stand up far off and witness this at the sea. Right, a lot of the ships going to be destroyed, like the brother brought out in the book of Revelation 8 and 8. All hell is going to be breaking loose on land and on sea. And they're going to see these things afar off.
I'm going to pull this up, man, because, oh, go ahead, Yaradan.
No, you got it.
No, so I'm about to show the screen. So this is a map right here, right? A map of bases, United States bases in the so-called Middle East. Right? Anybody can look this up. This is a real-time map, right, of what's publicly known. See if I can make this a little larger. Right now, of course, the so-called white man has stuff on his own that he's probably not going to tell you what's going on. So let's pull this up. And there's a map key to kind of show you what's actually going on out there. All right, let's see. All right, so the anchor, the blue on the map, these are naval facilities. So if you're looking right here by Cyprus, America has ships over here. And now in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, oh boy, it's like I'm trying to zoom in. South of Yemen. Can brother see this? Okay, if you look up on the bottom of the screen where it says Google My Maps or Gulf of Aden, they have ships down here too. This is where that operation, what is this? Operation Prosperity Guardian is going to take place all throughout the Red Sea. So they're pretty much surrounding the Middle East, right? Where Israel is, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and they got ships right here. So in the blue, these are their naval bases or naval facilities. So they got naval facilities all up in the so-called Middle East, man. And then the green are their army bases. So look at all of the green trucks. These are all of their army bases. And then the plane are their air facilities. So that's by sea, like we read in Maccabees, by land and by sea. And they'll also get you by air. So the so-called white man, look where he's at, man. That's what the Lord said. Let me get this in Habakkuk. Actually, let me get Psalms, right? Because I flipped there through the Spirit. This is Psalms chapter 37 and verse 35. Psalms chapter 37 and 35. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yet I sought him, but he could not be found. So David said he's seen a wicked spreading himself like a green bay tree. That's what Esau did, man. They started out in Mount Seir, and they spread themselves all up in the southern Europe. Then they spread themselves during the time of the Greeks. Then they spread themselves as the Romans, and they spread themselves during the Renaissance. Now they have spread themselves all over the earth like a green bay tree. And they have naval facilities all in the land of Ishmael. How the hell did that happen? So it's more than just Operation Prosperity Guardian going on. They already got stuff over there, man. So they're ready for World War III. There's plenty of stuff ready to kick this thing off, man. So that's why they're sending these ships out there. And a lot of these nations are scared of Babylon the Great for the most part. But they're going to push at them. I can tell you in the scriptures, man. In the book of Daniel 11 or Habakkuk 2, it says, shall not all these become booties unto thee? They're going to start coming back at America, man. And Iran is going to stop bluffing. So, you got a lot of prophecy of World War III. Brothers got
it. It's in Isaiah 47 and verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments. And this is happening now, right? This is slowly happening now, right now in real time, right? Esau is literally gathering up their enchantments. Stand now with thine enchantments. and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. For those who may have not seen it, but Oppenheimer, they've been laboring since the beginning, just laboring and sweating. Where the blacksmith at? What is their office? What do you call it? The brothers know?
You said
I'm trying to
what?
think of the word. Where blacksmiths do they work? What is that called?
Like a the furnace?
Yeah, okay.
I can look it up. Yeah.
So Esau, he's been in the furnace room, just manufacturing and fabricating all of these weapons and sorceries, still making the people deaf and dumb.
It's
You
called
got
it's called a smithy, or the place where a blacksmith works is called variously a smithy, a forge, like you forge weapons, or a blacksmith shop.
yeah. So Esau's been in the shop. He's been in the forge, fabricating weapons, and all the weapons aren't physical too. He's still got some weapons that's still polluting. You Israelites. He's still got the weapons. He's still throwing out these industry plants, still popping up this folly on your feed. That's his weapon too, right? But nevertheless, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, be thou shall be able to profit. If so, be thou mayest prevail. Right? And this is really the Lord, talking smack towards him. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. It's deep. Even in that movie, I don't know if brother's seen it, but Leave the World Behind. It was a reference about the people at the table. And these are, pretty much the people that run the world, right? Because there's going to come a certain point in time where these people that run the world, they're going to flee. They're going to hide off and duck off in their bunkers. You really think the top men, the top princes and kings of this earth is going to go to war? You think they're going to be on the front lines? That's not happening. They're going to flee. All right. Let me finish it off. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee. All these nations going to just watch you get destroyed. They're going to think they can do something. All the NATO, all the EU, they're going to think that they can help out America, but they can't. That's what I got.
I want to get this real quick in Habakkuk chapter 2. Right, I talked about it, but this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's how Esau get military bases. Right? He made a deal with a lot of these nations, man. They're in bed with America. Even though you may see a lot of these Arab countries say, oh, we hate America, we despise them, get out. A lot of these nations are in bed with America, man. Saudi Arabia, Yemen. A lot of them they still do deals with Babylon the Great. They get weapons, jets, the dollar. They get all types of stuff, man. So even though Babylon the Great has military bases, a lot of these nations, they're with it. They heap unto them all people and gather all nations. Here's the point of verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So they're going to start fighting back, man. They're going to start pushing back at America. How long are we going to let you rule over us? How long are you going to smite the nations? Like it's in Isaiah 14 with a continual stroke. Right, reading on. Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly? Right, like a thief in the night. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Then you're going to get robbed. Suddenly, these nations, they're going to push back, man. They're going to push back at you and rob you and destroy you. How the hell that's like me going to your house and I'm just building my own little shelters, little cabins around your house, man. Put my guns there, my weapons there, my soldiers there, a church there, right? A school, a university, a McDonald's. They put strip malls, gay bars, libraries. I tell you that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. Right? Let me get that real quick in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. And these nations, man, they sick of seeing America all in their land, man. Right? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and verse. We'll start at 8. I mean, this whole thing. I'm gonna start at 8. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 8. These are the thoughts of the wicked. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. So they want to make themselves kings over all the earth, right? Before their time passes. Because they know they got a short time. They know they're going to wither, but they're going to crown themselves before the Lord returns. Verse 9. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. What is voluptuousness? Let's pull up the definition. Right? Voluptuous. It's lucky here. Right? Voluptuous. It means curvaceous and sexually attractive, typically of a woman, relating to or characterized by luxury or sensual pleasure, hedonistic, pleasure loving, licentious, lascivious, sensual, salacious, indulgent, pleasure loving, Epicurean, right? So what is it saying in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 9? Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness, meaning we're going to do what we want to do. If we want to rape, we're going to rape. If we want to rob, we're going to rob. If we're going to kill, we want to kill. We're going to be as carnal as possible, and we're all going to do what we want to do. Here's the point. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this. And these are the tokens of their joyfulness, man. These are the signs of Esau's success and power. Air bases, naval bases, land bases, Operation Prosperity Guardian. These are tokens, signs, right? It says, let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. They have military bases all throughout the world, man. But the Most High said that these nations, they're not just going to shoot little missiles. They going to get this thing kicked off. And World War III, hopefully they bomb one of these NATO ships, man. So Article 5 could kick off. You don't know how hell could break loose. Brothers got it. You see that? Iran will stand by the people of Yemen until the end. So we're hoping Iran kind of drop some bombs too, man. Right? We're hoping Iran drops some bombs, and that Lord willing, this thing heat up. Lord willing, World War III speed up, man, and we're closer to getting out of here through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Mashak Yahushua, man. All right, brothers got it. Or we could bring out closing precepts.
Khan, you got anything else, Jordan?
No.
Okay, Khan. It's the book of Revelation, right? Chapter 3 and verse number 2. And it reads, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God. Right? So the Most High, through his son Yahweh Shai is commanding us to keep watch. Keep watching all things. If you're not watching, the Lord is going to visit you like a thief and blow out your candlestick. You're not watching, these demons are going to come up on you when you least expect it, right? Next thing you know, you're going off, you're committing lewdness, witchcraft, right? Slothfulness. God knows what, man. You got to keep watch. You got to be vigilant. It says, remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. Right? So the Most High said, you got to continue to keep watch, hold fast to all the things, right, that you know is sound doctrine, right, and watch. Because if you don't, the Lord is going to visit you like a thief in the night, right, and he's going to blow your candlestick out. Brothers got it.
It reads in the book of Sirach, chapter 35, verse 3, to depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Lord, and to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation. Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. Right? In other words, there's a lot of things that you have to have accomplished before the Lord comes back. And really, there's no end. There's no, I've done enough, and I've prayed enough, and I've read enough, and here are my works. This is just enough. There's never enough you can do. Right? And in the same breath, you want to make sure you're not doing too little.
Come. And I want to get the class in Revelation chapter 22, man. So, hey, things are heating up. Don't get seduced in the last days. Don't fall asleep. Don't take your foot off the gas, man. It's not time to get in the right lane. You got the fast lane, you got the middle lane, you got the right lane. Right? You want to I just want this too fast, and I'm gonna get in the right lane. Hey, you about to get off on the exit, man. Some people just want to, I just gotta get off the exit. We're not getting off on the exit, man. We got somewhere we gotta go. We in the left. Put your blinkers on. Look in your rear view mirror. Look in that side mirror. Get in your left lane. It's time to go, man. It's time to go. There's a lot of cars broken down on the side of the road. You see them all the time. A lot of broken down cars. Nobody in it. You got people on the side of the road too. Car busted up. They didn't check on it. Didn't examine their car. Right? Damn, flat tire. They wasn't paying attention to what was on the road. Burnt out, no oil change. The damn smoke coming up. They driving the damn car burning. Then you got cars just in the left lane. They getting where they got to go. You got to get to where you got to go, man. Be in the left lane, man. Step on that gas. Use that accelerator. Put that thing, shift gears, man. You got to shift gears in the spirit. Shift that thing into the fast mode, man. Because all hell is breaking loose on the earth, man. So that means you have to increase your reading, your brotherly love, your self-examination, your integrity, your honor, your household, your fasting, right? All of these things have to be one, right? You don't want to be found wanting like Belshazzar, right? You don't want to be found wanting in the day of the Lord, man. Right? When the Lord said, many, many tickle you farson, thy kingdom has been found wanting and given to the hands of the Medes and the Persians. You're very strong in this, but you're wanting in this. You want to have that just equity with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. And the Lord appeared upon Belshazzar like a thief in the night. And the writing was on the wall. And that was it, man. God forbid you see a hand on your wall say, look, you have been found. The Lord has your name. And he write down, you have been found wanting. Many, many, or in the Hebrew, many, many tickle you farson. And your kingdom is rent from you and given to this brother. Right? So you want to examine yourself in these days, man. Right? You want to examine yourself thoroughly and have vision in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Revelation 22:12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So the Lord is coming like a thief in the night, and everyone will receive a reward. All of the time you spent doing the work of the Most High, all of this self-denial, sacrifice, denying sin, you understand these things will be rewarded to you, right? So you have to keep your foot on the gas. You have to keep your blinders on and stay focused in this truth. And don't let the world sift you out. Don't let these demons sift you out. Don't let your own mind sift you out. You have to be perfect as much as you can be. Well, Salaki, you have to be perfect, right? In the truth, because that's what Yahweh Bashmi Shai said. Not as much as you can be. The Lord said, be ye therefore perfect. Even that's the standard, right? Even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect. So with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh. Bashima Mashach Womalak Shai. We'll open up the floor for questions like we always do at 213-603-9096. And the PIN number is 94809-305. Right? 213-603-9096. 94809-305 is on the live comment board. That Brother Naquam.
Shalom, brother. Right.
Brother Yardan, shalom.
Kwam Yashar. Shalom.